welcome to Centre Court with thanks to OMF. Kick back and relax with an adjustable bed from Australian designed and owned OMF. Watch sport your way. And of course, Cobram Estate, Australia's most awarded extra virgin olive oil. Grown, harvested and first cold pressed in northern Victoria. Well, Centre Court's here. Our co-host Maddie Browne is here. Plenty to talk through. It was an interesting round because it was split over 2 weeks, Maddie. It seems like we finally got to the end of round 3.
I know. I'm so glad round 3 is actually over. It's taken us way too long to get to round 4. It's been a little bit of a complicated ladder and seeing where teams are at, but now we're back on track. We can probably analyse it a little bit better and go, you know what, that's exactly where this team is and this is where the other ones are.
Well, things sure are getting interesting. Let's get into the OMF overview. Watch sport your way. Now, when we talk about snakes and ladders, this is how things are changing. The Firebirds obviously started off really strong, but then they came undone in the Battle of the Bruce up there in Queensland. The Lightning, weren't they in phenomenal form? They found their way and the Firebirds now drop into that 4th position. The Fever, big win over the Vixens. That was the last game of round 3. They need now only just move themselves up into that 7th spot. Lightning back into 3rd. The Swifts, though, may remain steady and strong right at that top position.
Oh, I mean, they have shown their class from the start, and I don't even think they're really still hitting their straps in some areas, which is a dangerous sign, I think, for the rest of the competition. But even this week, some games that we're going to obviously preview, it's really do or die, I think, for a lot of teams. And I know we're only in round 4, but with such a short, compressed season, every game counts. And even by now, being like a third, nearly going to be at that third of a way in, where are you? Where do you need to pick up? Because you don't have much time to really, you know, work into the games or start to refine things. You've got to be hitting your straps even by now because, yeah, lose another 1 or 2 and that's nearly season over.
Oh, isn't that crazy to think already the pressure is on? One thing we like doing each week here on Centre Court is coming up with our team of the week, players that have really stood out to us and continue to dominate their position. We can't go past what Janelle Fowler-Nembhard was able to do coming back after missing the first 2 games of the season, missing all pre-season. She is now back and, I mean, she did not skip a beat. 59 from 60 and that was just sinking ones. Like,
yes.
The volume the Fever have been missing and she was there. And we've got 2 of her other Fever teammates in there. Alice Teague-Neal continues to just really take charge in their attack end. But one that stood out for me, no surprises it's a defender, was Fran Williams. Huge amount of work that she did on Kira Austin in shutting her out of the game. But so 4 rebounds, 1 intercept, 6 gains, 7 deflections, and she goes under the radar. You don't realise how hard she is working.
Oh, and I mean, obviously, with not having the Ariang sisters out there, we sometimes see Fran Williams not get a lot of time. And, you know, as disappointing as it was to not have the sisters out there, it was possibly nearly the best outcome for the Fever because they had to really put her in there. She's the England captain. Mm-hmm. She is not, just an adding up the numbers. She's an exceptional player. She knew exactly the role she had to play against Akira Austin. She's that barometer for the Vixens. She entirely shut her down. She had very limited impacts. And like you said, totally undervalued really in what she does. It's the work off the body. She might not have massive stats, but how she nullified one of the biggest threats in the Vixens team, which was a massive part in the Fever getting the win, was huge. So it's great to see her obviously in the team of the week.
And the Fever were absolutely wrapped. Dan Ryan, but at the end of the game we heard, with the microphone that we had in the huddle, that he said that is the best performance he thinks the team has put together in his time as coach, which to me blew me away hearing how incredible that was for them. Well, that was the OMF overview. Kick back and relax with an adjustable bed from Australian designed and owned OMF. Watch sport your way. Now we'd like to welcome our special guest. As we do each and every week, we want to bring you someone from the teams to give us all the insights. And we thought, let's go to the most valuable player from the Swifts and Thunderbirds showdown that happened a couple of weeks ago now. But please welcome to Centre Court, Teigan O'Shannassy. Teigan, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Firstly, I need to talk to you about the 35 minutes that you played against the Thunderbirds. I know that feels like a while ago because it was over a week ago now, but 35 minutes, player of the match, absolutely dominated. Tell us what it felt like being out there on court, especially over in Adelaide.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Dylan, he's very good at giving us clear instructions when we go on. So he was basically just like, when we go out there, be off the body and go for ball. So I was like, yeah, done. So I just felt like I had this freedom to kind of just go for ball. And I feel like that was, I guess what we needed at the time as well. And I feel like everyone was, working together. We just kind of switched up our game plan because it wasn't really working after the first quarter. It was good. I feel like it was fun. I feel like it was just, I feel like Adelaide kind of kept doing the same thing, unfortunately for them, I think. So it was good for us to just capitalise on that.
Tegan, you mentioned Dylan Nexup coming into the coaching mix. Can you tell us what he brings to the group and kind of the contrast that he might bring compared to Browne? Because I love listening into Browne's team huddles. But tell us a little bit more about Dylan and what he's brought.
Yeah, Dylan's been amazing. I feel like he's just very straight to the point. And he's still good. He can still have a joke. And we've all got really good relationships with him, but he's also, very, very clear of what he wants you to do, which I think is, as defenders, is good. Him being a defender as well, I feel like it's good that we can be like, but what if they do this? Because he just gets it as well. So I feel like he's been a great addition for us to have. And, defenders, I feel like we're just bounce off each other and learning and also, giving, with all kind of working together at the same time as well, whether you're on the court or off the court as well. So, it's been really, really good having him.
Take us through the environment or into the environment of the Swifts at the moment. I mean, obviously last year things didn't go to plan and it was a very different vibe, but this year we're seeing the complete opposite from you guys as a team. It seems like you were all absolutely loving being out there on court and taking on the challenges, but now probably comes that favourite tag of taking out the premiership. How do you deal with that extra pressure and expectation every time you go out there on court?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely wanted, I felt we had nothing to lose this year. We, kind of made that, we knew we were better than what we put out last year. So I think it was just going back to what we're good at. We've done lots of work on kind of how we visualize things and how we prepare for games and how we kind of think in the moment as well. I feel like that work off the court has really helped us on the court. And training's been very hard. We've been pushing ourselves, pushing each other. I think, we want to make sure that when our attackers are going out on court, they've had really hard defence all week and vice versa. So I think we've definitely upped the training this week, this year. We've definitely trained hard last year, but I think it's just been that mindset kind of shift. And just knowing that, that we've got more to prove. I kind of love the favourite thing. I just think, we want to put out good netball every week and we want to keep getting better. I think that's the exciting thing, that we still don't think we're at our best. Each week, hopefully we're just going to keep building on what we put out the week before, but we're still learning, we're still really analysing our games and kind of looking at what we can always improve, which I think is exciting. We're not going to be done. So I feel like that's a good thing.
Tian Grace Wecky comes into your team this season as someone who gets to train on her for those really hard sessions. Do you feel like that's been a great thing for your game, to be constantly training against a world-class goal shooter to really get that kind of elevated game performance out of yourself? Yeah,
100%. I think Grace is so good. I think at training, me, Sarah, and Mads, are just oh my God, you just let us have a ball. So it's good. It's definitely at times at training we have to be you know what, she's on our team. It's a good thing that she's getting these balls. So it's good for us to mix up. If it's not working, we can pick her brains and be what would you find hard for this? I think it's definitely helped us defensively as well. And I think, nearly every team now has that tall target. So I think you kind of have to have a game plan for that and mix up, your style of defence. I think we can't do the same thing each week against different teams. So, it's been amazing having her. She's, great off the court as well, so that's a plus.
Well, soak it all in. You never know if Stacey Marinkovic might give you the call and say, hey, for the Diamonds, we need a defender that knows how to play on Wecky. In you go. That's a great pathway plan, I think.
True.
We've also seen Dame Norin Tarua be a part of the team as well. What does she bring in terms of coaching? Is she just focusing on Grace's game, or does she focus on the Swifts as general and giving you all feedback?
She's been amazing. I think she brings a new character as well. She's definitely, she's not just focusing on Grace. She's helping all over the court. We've had her for a few defence sessions as well. So I think she's helped a lot with that kind of offline style as well. Obviously, that New Zealand style. So she's been amazing. Just that kind of extra little voice as well. I feel like has helped like everyone on court. Like she's taken some training sessions, some drills. So yeah, it's been good. And I think having just that different kind of opinion of things, like, and she bounces off really well with Brian and Dylan as well. So yeah, she's been a great addition as well.
Now, you spoke about the off court and how it's good to be, chummy and good friends off the court, but we see that you're a very, very handy person in the kitchen. Do you have to cook meals for other players, or are they like, hey, Teags, just wondering whether you'd like an extra person over for dinner tonight? Because we love watching your TikToks. We think you're obviously creating an incredible personal brand. I love it. Tell us what's your go-to recipe, and do you have some extra friends tagging along all the time?
Yeah, I think we're going to have said, can we pay you to make our meals? So I haven't quite got to that part yet, but maybe future might do that. I love making banana bread, so I'm actually releasing a new banana bread ebook version, like just like all different versions, and I've brought a few in to the club, got the girls to do some taste tests, give me some feedback for it. So yeah, I just love, like, I feel like when I have the time, like, it's just something I just really enjoy doing. And yeah, definitely bringing in snacks for the girls is always fun when they like them. I get a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if people are going to like it, but I feel like I'm not actually a really good cook. Like, I just really enjoy it. I just find it, fun as well. And obviously I love the nutrition side of it as well. So I feel like that's a good mix to have.
What is your background like, and where does the inspo come from to put all that onto your platform and to create ebooks? And it's very entrepreneurial of you. And I mean, I love it because I've learned so much more about you as a person, being able to watch what you're doing on socials, not stalking, I promise you. But
Yeah, I love it.
where does all that inspo come from?
I mean, I think growing up, like, my grandparents and my mum were really big cooks. Like, we've always had like a vegetable garden. So I've always really loved that kind of, local produce, like farm to table vibe. Like, I do love that. Like, I love trying to grow my own veggies. Like, mum and dad at the moment have like the best vegetable gardens. Every time I go, and I've got chickens, like, that's like my dream, to have my own veggie garden, like try and, eat as much food that I've grown. I've just kind of always loved cooking. And I think when we used to have like nutrition chats, I think growing up, like with netball, like with state stuff, I used to just love it. And I feel like it was just one of the things that I thought, this is actually really benefiting my netball as well. But it's like a hobby at the same time. So I love that I've been able to kind of combine that. I guess it's just still making sure I've got that balance and not kind of, I don't want it is like a side hobby and job. So that's kind of something that I've tried to balance the last year, because I don't want it to obviously become something that I kind of have to do. Like, I still want to do it all the time. I feel like I've just always been a foodie. Like, I love going out to new food places. Like, I've got this list. I've sent it to all the girls, but it's like broken up into, places in Sydney of like places to go try food as well. So I'm just a massive foodie. And I just love kind of creating recipes. Like, I always joke, I kind of go to bed and I'm like, oh, I could make this, I could make that. Like, I'm kind of like dreaming about different recipes to make, which is, a bit of a nerd. But I just like, I've always kind of loved my food and loved that it connects to netball.
So, I mean, some players are out there trying to get apparel and footwear sponsorship, but come on, now is your chance. What are we trying to get, Tegan? Are we doing hot pans?
Well,
are we doing utensils? What are we after, Tegan?
One of
Let's
our sponsors is Cobram Estate. I'm sure you use
Stop
that.
it. I would love that sponsor.
Perfect.
I saw I think the Mavericks have them.
That's right.
And Business at Butcher Club. I was like, come on, guys.
Okay, we'll talk to our people. You talk to your people. Let's make something happen for you.
Would love it.
Let us know what your website is. If anyone needs to find you on TikTok or on your website, let us know what it is. Can you share that with everybody on Centre Court?
So website is tossed together at online. So that will be my website. You can find recipes. You can book in if you want to do any nutrition chats, and you can get all my new ebooks on there as well. TikTok is just Teigan O'Shannassy, I'm pretty sure, and Instagram is same thing. So yeah, I feel like TikTok I do more of like my feel for training, which I do want to kind of do a bit more on Instagram, but I feel like TikTok's probably a bit more like not unprofessional, but just more fun kind of side of it. Whereas Instagram I try to keep it a bit more civilized. But so that's both my handles, and I feel like it's a bit of a mix of everything on there.
Well, we've had fun with the off-court, but let's go back to the on-court for one last question. You've got State of Origin this week. Do you talk about that rivalry and how important it is? Because it goes a lot deeper than maybe just what happens on the court.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't really brought up the State of Origin side of it yet, but I think it's also Pride Round this weekend, so that's been a big focus of us as well. So I think it's just, yeah, it's going to be a big round. I think it's going to be a big game. And I think Firebirds were on a bit of a roll, and obviously after last week, I thought they're going to be out to improve and, I thought they're going to really bring it. So I think for us, it's just kind of sticking to our game plan, not getting caught up in what they're going to bring as well. But yeah, but obviously being New South, we want to win and not let Queensland take it. So yeah, it'll be a big game.
Well, we look forward to watching. We also look forward to when you eventually come to Melbourne to play some of the teams, sampling some of that banana bread. If you want to bring some for Maddie and I, we would not pass it up.
I will. If you get me to Common State, I'll trade for them.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much for joining us, Tegan, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys.
It's time for the good oil, thanks to Cobram Estate Australian Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Now, with the good oil, Mads, I really thought we should talk about and give a pump up to the Sunshine Coast Lightning content team.
Yes.
For their first 2 games of the season, they've been highlighting this one seat, VIP seat that they had courtside. It was for Robert Irwin. He obviously lives down the road right at Australia Zoo. They wanted to get him to a game and he showed up. And I think they all were very surprised. I know from inside the Sunny Coast Lightning camp, they were not told about it at all. And they got to the game when they were taking on the Firebirds. They were in their change rooms. Belinda Reynolds was running their meeting, like their team meeting before the game. And Belinda Reynolds stopped and said, we've got someone who's going to come in and finish off the team talk. And in comes Robert Irwin. And it was just an incredible moment. And then, of course, when he came out onto the court and the crowd, they were just so infatuated that he was there, that he was a big supporter of netball. And I just want to say well done to the content team, because we know all of this goes on at, you think you're doing it probably not realising the result that it might have in the end, but I loved seeing it and loved seeing how much you love netball.
I mean, they've set the tone. We said Mav set the tone for obviously the pre-game with Delta round 1. Lightning have come back and said, you know what? Social media gets a bad rap sometimes, but this is exactly how it should be utilised. And, I would have actually nearly liked for Robert Irwin to just hang him out until like round 13 or 14. Like that would have just really put the icing on the cake. But to rock up round 3 and go, you know what? You've asked, you've begged me. I just would have liked to see how far and how creative they would have had to go to really try and get him if he hadn't rocked up throughout the season. But like you said, throwing it out to all the other teams. What else can you show us on social media to obviously bring a big name to our wonderful sport? But that was awesome. And the crowd loved it. And I just even, the hands up, like take it on, embrace it. That's what it should all be about.
Just so many fangirls in the crowd, the players on court. You never see them stop and before a game, they're always so serious and they're all just laughing, cannot believe that he's there. So well played to Sunny Coast Lightning. Well, that was the good oil thanks to Cobram Estate, Australia's most awarded extra virgin olive oil. Grown, harvested and first cold pressed in northern Victoria. Okay, Maddie, it's over to you for Maddie's Minute. What do you have for us this week?
Well, B, we've kind of been discussing a little bit off air, should we be having 10, should we be having 11 or 12 players? Some teams are utilising their 11th player really well. We've seen Swifts bring in, obviously, for Sophie Fawns, going, we actually need the wing attack or a goal attack, swing goal attack, utilising their 11th player to actually boost and benefit their team. Other teams like the Vixens haven't named anyone, and maybe they're going, we probably should have. So my question is should we have a squad of 12 on the actual bench? The last time we had 12 was when we didn't have rotating subs. We now have rotating subs. We can inject people in. Maybe we need that extended list. So having an 11th and 12th player rather than just the 10 and the reason I say this is because other teams like a Giants are monitoring load with a Joe Harton. Should you be in the 10 if you can't maximise the capacity and actually play 60 minutes? Maybe we need to extend the squad so then we can actually keep someone like her in. I think it's good to have her in with her leadership, but if she can't give you the same amount of court time as someone else that might be a youngster, what are you giving and taking here? So, maybe we need to look at our squads and think, 12 in our lists, 16 as a squad with our training partners. Maybe we do that selection every week, or maybe we just have the 12 as it is. Do we go back to the full-on selection like good old local football netball, and it's, you got to earn your spot, you got to earn your bib every single week. But the question is it worth having someone on your bench if you can't actually play them the whole time?
Yeah, tend to agree with you, especially now when we spoke off the top of the show about how important this part of the season is and how crucial it is, these wins now. You can't afford to have a play in a 10. It's such a small amount of players on your list to go into a game and have options and be able to make changes when you need to make changes if they are unavailable to play 60 minutes.
And Giants aren't the only people that have been hindered by it. I think Swifts even had Verity Simmons saying, she'd been sick all week and she was coming back. And it's like, okay, well, she's a mid-quarter, and if she's not feeling great, then, but the biggest thing I think also for players is it's such a short season. You do not want to miss one single game. So you're always going to put yourself out there to be available, but at what cost for the team, I think, and they're some of the hard decisions. But hey, we've even talked about it. Maybe if we extend the league to more teams, bring in some New Zealand ones, more games, more available players, easy. There's your solution right there.
Just come to us. Let's just have a brainstorming session live on air. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
See what can come out of that. Well, let's hear from this week's local legend. Thanks to CRT. Farming starts with CRT. Today we hear from Nayoka from Castlemaine.
Hi, my name is Nayoka. I currently play for Sunshine Netball Club, but I grew up in the country and I played for both Castlemaine and Newstead football netball clubs.
Describe your team in 3 words.
I'd say my team is fiery, competitive and supportive.
What's your pre-game ritual?
My pre-game ritual is I have to put up 5 shots before I can do anything, drink a lot of water, and get all my stretching done for my bad knees.
What's the best pre-game advice you've received?
The best pre-game advice I've ever received probably came from my mum when she told me to just slow down. It's only a game of netball, and you can only do what you can do when you're on court.
What's your go-to pump-up song?
Oh, my go-to pump-up song is probably anything by Group Love. This stuff really gets me going.
What's your game day snack?
Game day snack, probably carrots. I get down a lot of carrots on game day.
Your favourite netball position and why?
I'm a goal attack, so that's probably my favourite netball position. I love being able to run my little butt off and then also get into the circle and be a feeder, but also pop up some shots.
And what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on court?
I stack it a lot on court, so that's probably the most embarrassing thing.
Love your work, and how's that? Carrots?
I know. It wasn't really in my pre-game snack wheelhouse, was it? But hey, maybe that was something I was missing out. I loved even the 3 things of what a team is. They're fiery.
Yeah.
They're competitive, but they're also supportive. So I'm like, some healthy rivalry in that team. I like it.
Well, we love it. Keep sending them in each and every week. That was the local legends. No matter where you live or what you farm, it starts with CRT. Now we want to preview one of the games that's happening in round 4, and this is the one we might be a bit biased because we are both working on this game. It is happening in Melbourne. It is the Melbourne Derby between the Mavericks and the Vixens. Now, when you look at how they've matched up before, the Mavericks, they've only been in the competition for 1 season. They have not been able to beat the Vixens yet. But, Maddie Browne, I put it to you. Do you think this is the best chance the Mavericks have had to take the Vixens on?
Absolutely. And to go back to the start of the show when I said I think some teams have some crossroads here in round 4, this will either make the Mavs or it will maybe obviously put the Vixens in the back foot and go, wow, where is your season actually going to go? It's a bit of a do or die, I think, for the Vixens. I think the Mavs have all the ingredients. They absolutely need to take this one out. It's just whether they can execute it consistently. They showed that they were good against the Giants, but was that their opponent? Was that really them? I think I need to see a little bit more consistency to know that they are the absolute real deal. The Vixens, on the other hand, conversion on centre pass, the worst in the league. There is so many things that they are usually the best at. They're sitting in that 1, 2 or 3 and they're right down the bottom. They've still got big names in their team. They've got diamonds throughout their starting 7 lineup and we just have not seen them tick. We've seen some youngsters do some really exciting things, but for me, it's a real crossroads for the Vixens. I'm sure they're feeling this themselves, but they really just need to go back to their basics and back themselves in and actually play with that little bit of aggression and instinct rather than being afraid to make those mistakes because it's not so much that Vixens brand that we're used to. Because I think Fever on the weekend showed exactly how you can break them down. And I'm sure a lot of opposition will be looking at it. But yeah, it's just gonna. It is the best opportunity for me for the Mavs to go, you know what, we're going to take ownership of this city and this is where we're going to do it.
And you think about what both teams have been able to do this season so far. They've both only got one win and they've both only beaten the Giants. So we know the Giants aren't one of the best teams in the league just going off their performances so far this season. So both teams, the challenge, I believe, will be set that if you can win this one on the weekend with all the pressure and the noise that will go around this game, then you've got a good chance of going on and moving forward to try and challenge for that top 4.
And both are going to have to do it in their own unique strengths and team way, because Vixens have the moving circle, Mavs have the holding shooter. They have the triple threat in the 2-point, the Mavs with a Glasgow and a Pallavi. There's the double threat in the 2-point as well with a Graham and an Austin. They are the most accurate. So both teams can fire in the 2-point if they work their rotations really well. But the first 10 minutes is going to look a lot different. So who can put on that maximum volume to really kind of set the tone and put the pressure on the opposition is where it's going to come down for me. And the mid-court as well, I think for the Mavericks, they've been rotating a lot in their first season, trying to find that really good connection. Who is it? And all players are going, actually, I want it to be me, I want it to be me. So I think they need a little bit of stability. But yeah, I actually cannot wait for it, because this could be the first extra time of the season.
Woo, that will keep us busy, that's for sure. I wonder if too, players like Sasha Glasgow, will she be back? She missed their game against the Giants, and Unique Pallavi took on that goal attack position for 60 minutes and did a great job.
Do you start her, B? Because
I think you do. I think you definitely, you're not going to play, if Glasgow is back, you're not going to put her body under the pump and play her for 60 minutes, right? You know Unique Pallavi can play. You've seen her do it. She's a smart operator. She doesn't need to run around. She can really distract some of the best Vixens defenders, really. And then Jock is a powerhouse to get the volume. So I think the Mavs have options. And like, we haven't even spoken about Cardwell's not even back yet.
Yeah. They've still got plenty of firepower to come back in as well.
So fascinating to see what happens. That is Sunday at 2 o'clock. That game is happening. It is time now for Strutty's Social Scoop. Netball apparel design for the next generation of superstars. Style meets performance at struttys.com.au. Now this week we have a question from Izzy. She asks, is Cara Conan back? I think she had the best game she has had in a while. You know what, Izzy? I totally agree with you. And that was one of my favourite things about watching the Sunny Coast Lightning Firebirds game, was to see the smile on Cara Conan's face when you could see her turn and think, you could see her, like, her head just going through all the ideas around, do I shoot this super shot in the last little bit? Do I attempt it? What happens if I miss? All the pressure that she's put on herself, and everybody keeps talking about she's not shooting them. She nails it. She's so excited. I think she does the double fist pump, then gets another one next time the ball goes down the other end of the court. So, I think that's going to be an enormous confidence booster for a player that has been struggling.
Yes.
And you don't like to see him struggling. It's really hard, isn't it, to watch? But they need her, Cara Conan and the Lightning.
They do, and I mean, it just shows that even when you're at the top of your game and you might be in the diamonds, like, we all have kind of form slumps. And the hardest thing is sometimes, because it's such a fast-paced game, how do you get yourself in it? You really do have to rely a lot on your teammates to try and inject you in and bring you in with that confidence. But like you said, her biggest thing is turning, shooting, and owning that circle for the Lightning. And just to see, as you said, it's the smile, it's the enjoyment. Like, why do we all start playing netball? Because we love the game.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard when you then come to the elite level and it becomes your job, and there is that financial benefit to it. You go, oh, that love is kind of blurred a little bit, but ultimately, when you love what you're doing, you'll execute and play really well, and the performances will just come. So it's nice to see, because I've got Lightning in the grand final, so it's good to see Cara Conan is 100% back.
We hope to see plenty more of that from Cara this season. Well, that was our Strutty's Social Scoop. Strutty's innovating netball apparel. Well, that is our episode of Centre Court for the end of round 3 and the start of round 4. Enjoy what is to come, and a big thank you to OMF Watch Sport Your Way and Cobram Estate Australian Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks, babe.
We'll see you again next week.